The moment we have all been waiting for a very long time is now upon us. Balance patch notes just dropped. I have not read through them yet. I don't know what's in here. I'm a little bit hopeful because this is supposed to be a better balance patch than the previous ones. However, I do know that this is still Summoner's War. I do know this is still Calm to Us, so I'm trying to not be too hopeful because I don't want to get disappointed as I have been for the past several. So, monster skill balancing, modification improvements. Let's see what's here. I already did my thing about what I think needs to be balanced. Not that everything in there needs to be balanced. I just hope that a lot of things that the community wants in general is taken a look at, so we can actually get to use some of the units that were like just sitting in storage that we haven't gotten a chance to use at yet. Anyway, walk through the monster balancing work we'll be carrying out soon. What do we have for the first one? Sniper. Fire Sniper decreases defense. So they gave him like 3 buffs at the same time, and then they were like, you know what? We're gonna tune down one of those buffs. So he was too strong. Oh, you know what? They actually have the howls. Oh my god. It's going to be like this the whole video. Okay, so we got a defense break for 1 turn now instead of 2. He was very strong. I mean, they gave him 3 buffs at the same time, so of course it's going to make anything strong if they give them 3 buffs at the same time. Water, Fire, Dark, Heal, increase cooldown time by 1 turn. So, people complaining about... I really feel like the Lulu was the one everyone was complaining about. It wasn't the other ones. It's the Lulu because Lulu's such a strong counter to the current CC meta, right? So that's because she's got low cooldowns and everything. She's got cleanse, she's got heal with skill 1, she's got cleanse with skill 2, and it's got a low cooldown. So now it's on a little bit bigger of a cooldown. That's definitely going to make a noticeable impact. That's definitely going to impact her win rate and RTA as well. Just these cooldown decreases, different things like speed, cooldown decreases makes a big difference. Howl, Secondary Awakening, Water, Fire, increased cooldown time by 1 turns is... It's the same thing. Oh, never mind. It is the same thing. It's just 1 Howl and then 1 Second Awakening Howl. Okay. And then we have, for the Fire one, recovers the HP of the ally with the lowest HP ratio by 15%, is now 20%. Target ally can also be yourself. Second Awakening for the Dark one. Shield is created proportional to the amount of damage dealt. Is now the caster's max HP. So we just make him super... I mean, we made him super tanky before. The Dark Howl... The one that they're referencing here is... Oh, there's so many other units down. I don't want to... I don't... Oh, I see some Valks. I see some Valkyrias. I'm a little... I won't get too excited. I'm a little bit excited for that, though. But I didn't see what exactly they got. So this is... I mean, you already want low attack power on the Dark Howls anyway, because it switches the attack power with something that steals their attack power, but it needs to have low attack power for that to activate. So you already build him like a tanky speed damage HP anyway. We have Onimusha Ghost Slash, decreased damage by 19%. I mean, they are very strong. I wonder if people are going to be very upset with this. I feel like they might be very upset with this. Wind Calculated Sacrifice passive. Damage, additional damage by 20% is now 15% of the lost HP when you attack on your turn. I know that they're strong. I just feel like I don't want them to be just collect dust in storage now. I don't know. Do you guys feel like these are going to be fine? Or do you guys feel like these are going to be 20 to 15%? I feel like, okay, I'll live with it. I'll survive with it. I do have him built. I do have him fully skilled up. I do like him. He's a pretty staple unit for a lot of people. But the Ghost Slash, decreased damage by 19% is a pretty huge damage decrease. I know he's a brutal unit sometimes, especially when he violent procs and revenges and things like that. But yeah, that's I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, so Dark one, Indomitable passive. Critical hits won't occur when attacking the enemy, but the damage is increased by 50%. Is now 30% for a damage buff. I mean, he is he's brutal. The thing is, he's easily countered by just not CCing him before you kill him. So if you CC him, then you're in trouble, then you can't kill him, unless you Oblivion him, right? So, I don't feel like he needed a nerf, but maybe that's just me. I have not fought against enough of them. People don't really draft those into me. They don't really draft those. Maybe that's just because of what I'm drafting, so. But yeah, some things people get drafted on them more so than others. So, We have the Fire Bison, Ultimate Psycho Crusher. Each attack decreases the attack bar by 30%. He got a nerf. Fire Bison, Fire Slayer got a nerf from 30% to 15%. I mean, he is strong. 30% to 15%. Okay, well, you guys got the Lulu nerf. You guys got the Fire Slayer nerf. Okay, so what do we have for this one? We have Valkyrias now. We have... Are these also still... Yeah, these are all Valkyrias. Okay. So, Valkyria, Light God Shield passive. The chance of allies receiving critical hit is reduced by 30%. Now, 50... They gave him a nerf? They nerfed the Light Valkyria. Okay. I wasn't expecting... I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting a nerf on the Light Valkyria. Sort of promise. Increase the enemy target skill cooldown by 1 turn with a 20%... That's the first skill. The first skill for Valkyrias is increases skill cooldowns on revenge. So if you have, if you have, now a thing that people have been doing with the Light Valkyria is people put him on revenge sometimes, and that would just be increasing enemies' skill cooldowns when he revenges. So then we have Seal of Water, decrease cooldown time. Seal of Fire, decrease cooldown time. Seal of Light, decreased cooldown time. So that's what these guys are getting. They're not guys, they're girls. That's what they're getting is increased cooldown, but it's only a 20% chance. Let's see what it is after the skill ups. But it's weird that the light one got the... Okay, but they're getting other stuff. They're getting other stuff. So Wind Soul Reaper, that is the second skill. Attacks enemy, recovers 30% of HP. Recovers HP by 30% of inflicted damage. Invincible when the enemy is killed. Is now invincible for 1 turn. Resets the cooldown time Sword of Discharge when an enemy is killed. So it doesn't heal, but it's invincible regardless. And it resets the cooldown if the enemy is killed. I mean, it's not gonna make it super... It's still gonna be it's still gonna be brutal. But I don't know if that makes it like a meta thing. I guess we'll see. But I don't know. I'm trying to like seriously think about it. Dark Valkyria, Soul Reaper, as is the same thing. Reset. So it's basically the same kind of buff. It's just resets the cooldown time of Ragnarok. Do they at the very end? I wonder if they do change the type. Because I think people will be happy if they change the type of the Dark Valkyria. Mage Water. Soul Harvest passive. Creates 1 Soul Stone when the battle begins. Okay, so that definitely makes it more usable. That definitely makes it more usable for a anti-cleave kind of thing. Not even anti-cleave. Anti-single target snipe. So, like, you bring that in against, like, a Molong Ikaris, and something comes back from the dead regardless. So, and they can't like increase the cooldown time of it. So, because it's just it's a soul stone, so that's yeah, that could be usable. That could be usable. Maybe we'll see. Mage win secret book passive. Increase your attack power by 5% each whenever you attack an enemy. 5% more whenever the attack. So that is actually. I mean, we'll see, but I think that might actually be a decent enough buff for that water mage. It seems very boring, but it seems like it's one of those things that might actually be enough. Whenever the attack lands a critical hit, attack power can be increased up to 500%. Is now increase your attack power and defense by 10% each, up to 300% whenever an ally attacks an enemy. Okay. Whenever an ally attacks an enemy, it buffs them. So it's best in turn cycle teams. And it's just going to, I mean, this increases the attack power and the defense too. So it's just going to make it tankier overall. And then you just die from a Ciara bomb. Because it's just the defense and doesn't increase the HP. This is interesting. I don't have this, but this is interesting. I see some Archangels. I'm very excited about the Archangels. I think that's definitely a buff for sure. This Wind Mage. So we'll see. I want to play around with this. I want to actually see how this does. Because that's definitely going to make these two better. But the question is how much better, right? And sometimes you can't really tell until you actually play with them. Okay, so punishment skill 2 for the Archangel. So here's the thing. They so far, I hate to give them credit. I'll give them credit. They so far have actually been changing things that the community said, okay, these things need nerfs. The snipers need nerfs. Have people really complained about this? They complained that they're so OP, but or the fire sniper's OP. But Lulu nerf, Fire Slayer nerf. I'm gonna give Comtois credit. They are changing things. They are modifying things that the community asked for. So I want to say good job, Comtois. It's very hard for me to say that. So potentially good job, Comtois. Thank you for actually. Maybe I should reserve my comments until the end. Good job actually trying to pay attention to what the community, and I mean the community, not just me. So let's see. And then everything's going to be terrible from here on down. It's going to be absolutely nonsense. Deals damage with Flames of Punishment. Inflicts continuous damage for 3 turns. Damage increases according to defenses. Now attacks the enemy with Flames of Punishment. Decreasing defense for... Decreasing defense! Okay. 1 turn only. 50% chance continuous damage for 2 turns. Damage increases according to your defense. So... this is a defense break and an attack big damage on top of that. That is... daddy likey that. Okay. Then we have Archangel's Blessing for the skill 2 of the Water, Light, and Wind. Increases the allied target defense for 2 turns. That's nice. Oh, I'm going to be able to use Artemiel more. I took Artemiel on the Europe server off of the favorites for RTA. Because I'm like, I like maybe once in a blue moon pick him as a last pick. But man, he's so easy to counter nowadays. Like everyone's just naturally bringing in counters to him. So, yeah, that's I'm excited about the punishment actually, because I know that does decent damage. So setting up with a defense break and then the decent damage is not bad. So we have some unicorn changes. Okay, so let's see. We got Water and Light. Provokes for 1 turn, 75% chance. Is now 2 turns with a 75% chance. And then they have their Revenge too. Then we have the Fire Eternal Flame passive. Recovers your HP by 10%. Is now 20% when you attack on your turn. Effect that increases your attack bar by 20% for the Fire Unicorn. More turn cycling for the Fire Unicorn. Okay. And I don't see a wind. Smart play, Comtois. They're like, yeah, we're not gonna buff the wind one. People would riot. Okay, so we have Light Dazzling Flesh. I thought it was Flash. Is it really Flesh? Anyway, decreased chance of being inflicted with a critical hit by 50% on yourself is now allies receiving critical hits by 50. I should have reread that skill because apparently I did not know what the skill actually was. I knew it was a crit resist. I thought it was AoE crit resist already. I didn't know this was just herself. So, then the dark one, effect that reflects 30% of the damage back to the enemy, is now reflects 20% of the received damage back to all enemies. That's a weird passive. I mean, we'll definitely play with it, right? You know, we'll definitely play with that. You're like, thank you, Bagel. Finally, the dark pony gets a chance to shine. No, I mean the dark pony was kind of usable. I was not the one saying like, oh my goodness, the dark pony can never be used. Like she was a kind of last pick situation or like a niche thing. It's like, okay, well, I would like a defense break or things like that. But like from a mathematical standpoint, it's like she does 2 buffs. She cycles, and then she also has a shield in human form. She was always a decently valuable unit. It was hard to find a place for her in a lot of the meta teams and against a lot of the meta teams. But then the deflect damage made her better. So now this one is very interesting. This is definitely going to get used. I'm actually going to use this. So then we have the Pioneers. Come to us. Okay, so the mages, the archangels, the Valkyrias, the couple nerfs. I wasn't necessarily asking for the nerfs, but it's not about me. It's about the community in general. So, Pioneers, Water and Light, Mountain Power, inflicts damage proportion to your max HP, is now by 20% of your max HP. North Star's Wisdom, increased damage by 13% for skill 1. Wind Pioneer, Lightning of Cycle, damage inflicted on the others increased by 30 to now 50% if your first attack kills the enemy target. So buff on that. Dark Dragon, Decimate. Increased damage by 8%, inflicts damage, effect added, inflicts damage which ignores all effects that resist death. I feel like the Dark Dragon... Is the Dark Dragon in a good... I feel like he's in a good spot. I really like the Dark Dragon already, but I don't have a Dark Dragon, so I can't really complain too much. Pioneer Light Heavenly Protection. Effect added. Decreased damage that allies except yourself receive by 15% if Heavenly Protection is on cooldown. So like a Darien passive. So an extra Darien passive. So a lot of this stuff is really... I mean, I don't think the Fire Unicorn really needed too much. I don't think that the other I feel like some of the unicorns were not necessarily needed, but there's a lot of things that they are addressing that community has complained about, and it looks like they actually care. It looks like they're trying to make a good balance patch this time. So I'm gonna give them credit. It looks like they're actually trying. So what do we have? Healing Breeze. Awaken effect added. Decrease cooldown time of Healing Breeze by 1 turn if there are no harmful effects to remove from the enemy. So also a little extra buff for the water Sylphid. Then we have Light Sylphid, Blessing of the Wind Awaken. Grants immunity for 1 turn to allies with full HP. Okay. It's already a defense buff, so that's just a little bit extra bonus. Actually, she has a skill too that resets, that increases cooldown of one of the enemies that you attack. So that's... I always thought she was a cool unit. I bring her with like Feng Yan and stuff. So, what do we have for the next one? Wind Anubis, Underworld King's Return passive. Effect added, revive with Underworld King. It brings him back from the dead when he dies and he has full attack gauge. So, if revive with Underworld King's Return, uses Brand of Hell on the enemy target that killed you. Interesting. So, things that aren't really super, like the super meta, like the fire one. Everyone's using the fire one, but... or a little bit less now since the Fire Sniper. What do we have? Sky Dancers, Prideful Fall, decrease the defense. Oh my god! Oh, jeez! It's an AoE, it does big damage, it does just random hits. Decrease defense for 2 turns, 30% chance. This could do ridiculous amounts of damage. This could be very nasty. It's random, but it could be very nasty. That could be very nasty. They didn't, like, decrease the damage that it does, either. They're just like, we give you an attack power buff, and then also, here's a big nuke. She does her own attack power buff, too. So she does attack power buff, she does a defense break, and she does a big nuke. All in the same thing. She's kind of like Ryan. Guys, did you know that Ryan does attack power buff and a defense break? In this, you knew. Okay, what do we have? Dark Sky Dancer. Congratulations, Shumbi. Increase the attack bar of the ally with full HP by 15 is now 20%. That's one of those units that I really want, is the Dark Sky Dancer, because I think that she's got a speed lead, she's got her own attack power buff, and also attack bar increase as well. That just fits my playstyle of, like, I would use her, it just fits my playstyle. I would love one of those. Vampire, Water Vampire! Water Vampire. Okay, let's see the Water Vampire buff. Skill effect change. Attacks all enemies up to 5 times depending on your HP status. Damage also increases as the enemy's HP status decreases. Is now attacks all enemies 5 times. Still good for the multi-hits for the additional damage artifacts, which we can try. Which always land critical hit on the fire monsters, with each attack having a 20% chance to decrease... Joe! Guaranteed crit hit on fire monsters. Defense break for 2 turns. Damage increases. The enemy's HP status decreases. So, wow. So they know that the water vampires do. See, why couldn't we have some of these like sooner, so we could just be happier sooner instead of just be depressed and then finally happy? Because I mean, we come to us. We all knew that these things were broken. These things needed buffs for a long time. 7 years. So this is guaranteed crit on fire monsters. Defense break. I mean, there's so many multi-hits, right? If they don't defense break, it's still additional damage. Artifacts made him stronger, which no one's really talking about the fact that the additional damage artifacts with this AoE 5 hits made him stronger. But this is potentially pretty brutal. So, and then you can also build him with... talk about that later. Vampire Wind Deathblow increased the damage by 15%. Also leaves a branding effect for 2 turns with a 20% chance. We'll see what this is after skill ups, but that is... I mean, that's at least putting him on par with Crow now, because Crow is kind of making him look a little bit like doo-doo. Why I read this and I'm like, they buffed the bat. It's just vampire bat. Dark vampire bat removes beneficial effect with now an 85% chance instead of 75. I was having fun playing with him on Danae's account. Vampire light immortality passive removes all harmful effects granted on yourself at the moment of death. That could be pretty nasty. Okay, that could be pretty nasty. Like people like trying to do AOE. Like for example, if I'm gonna hit that with like the light monkey, right? I'm gonna do some stuns, some slows and things like that, and then I'm gonna go start pushing damage into the light vampire, and then you know me, I'm gonna forget that he got buffed, and then I'm gonna kill him, but he absorbs the HP from one of his teammates, and then cleanses at the same time, and then he's gonna come in one shot. So that's kind of nice. Then we have Magic Knight. So this is Magic Shot is their second skill. Decreased defense for 70% chance now. Dark one is decreased cooldown time. This is the third skill. The Gravity Shot, the one that does damage based on enemies' max HP. It's one of the biggest heals in the. It is the biggest heal in the entire game because you could heal for like 100,000 plus damage, or 100,000 plus HP over here. Magical Archer. All magical archers. Magic Arrow. Tribute relation effect changed. Advantage attribute is defense break. No change. If the attacker has an equivalent, is no change. Still intact power break. If the attacker has disadvantage, puts to sleep is now stun. So just a little bit of an improvement is the stun. Okay. Excuse me. Magical Arrow, Magical Archer Water. Arrow of Water. Skill effect change. This is the one who everyone was like, why is this an attack type monster? It does damage based on defense. So, attacks with 3 water arrows, each having a 15% chance to stun the enemy. I mean, I didn't complain about this lately. It's just something we used to complain about a long time ago because we're like, it doesn't make sense. Damage increases according to defense. Now, attacks with 3 water arrows, 25% chance to stun the enemy, which is a higher chance to stun. Damage increased by 50% if the target is under inability effects. So, and it does its own inability effect, so it's just going to be extra damage. And this is not damage based on defense. So, that's even better. Now we're just going to build her for attack, not worry about the defense. This is nice. The Fire Magical Archer inflicts continuous damage with a 35, because it was a very low chance. It's her third skill AoE. Is now a 65% chance, and then we'll see what that goes up. But that's at least reliable AoE continuous damage unit. Can we use it in dungeons? Probably not. I mean, are we going to put her in Giants? Probably not. Then we have the Magical Archer Water Fire Dark Wedge Arrow. That's the skill 2. Decreased attack speed is now 75% chance. Wind and Light Magical Archers. The Light Arrow. That's their second skill. Increased damage by 14%. It's the big single target burst damage. Light Critical Arrow. Increased damage by 7%. Magical Archer Fami, increased damage by 7%. Magical Archer Dark, which I'm interested in. Shadow Arrow increases the chance of ignoring the enemy's defense by 15% for each harmful effect. Is now 20 for each beneficial effect granted on yourself. This is so much better. Okay, this is so much better. Because just if you put will runes on this, I'm going to just give away the secret. If you put will runes on this and you put shield runes on something else, she has extra chances to ignore defense. And she can do a crazy amount of damage. Just immediately. So, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Ignore defense. I mean, you could also do just a bulldozer or a Lucian or whatever. But, yeah, that's actually pretty nice. I do like that. And then what do we have? Awakening effect of some monsters is changed. Dark Valkyria is now increased resistance is crit rate buff. So that's going to help the Dark so Dark Valkyria got 2 buffs. It doesn't look like it changed the type yet. We'll see. Desert Queen Fire is now increased accuracy is now attack speed by 15%. That's a big one. That's what she said. Attack speed increase for something that strips and resets cooldowns is actually going to make this unit potentially more of a meta unit. Her base speed held her back. This could be a game changer. This could make her actually picked in content. And by content, I mean RTA, let's be honest. Then we have the Hell Lady. Dark Hell Lady increases resistance by 25%, is now strengthened. Shatter skill removes a beneficial effect with a 50% chance. So now it's strips and defense breaks. It's a strip and AoE defense break. And potentially stun if it's on Despair. So, very nice. I think that Desert Queen, I mean, all of these made them better. All of these are definite improvements. They made a lot of actual improvements. They made a lot of actual improvements to all these doo-doo monsters. How many of these did we actually ask for? Again, not me for the for all the nerfs. I didn't really ask for any nerfs. But 1, 2, 3. I don't know if people were asking for Onimusha nerfs. I know the fire one is sometimes a pain. I'm like, oh my god, he's just gonna win, isn't he? He's just gonna get lucky. He's gonna Von proc. He's gonna revenge, and then he's just gonna Von proc again. And so anyway, 3. The Valkyrias, the Mage, the Archangel, all of these were things that I was like, these need to get buffed. They actually got buffed. Pioneer needed to get buffed. Actually got buffed. Sylphids, I mean, they could use buff. It's not that they couldn't. I just wasn't really too focused on those. Yeah, Water Vampire was a big one for a while. Just vampires in general. I think I even mentioned it, that the vampires in general, I was like, these things could all kind of get a buff and it wouldn't really, I mean, except for the fire one. Fire one didn't get touched. Magical archers, even. I know I didn't really say anything about the magical archers, but this is valid buffs. Like, it's going to make some of them more usable, especially the dark one, because he's got super good base speed, and this is actually going to, that's actually going to be pretty decent for you could actually use if you have a dark magic archer, you're going to be able to use her more. And then these were fantastic. These are fantastic. And then we have stats if some monster will be changed. Archangel of all attributes will have attack speed increased on both unawakened and awakened ones. It's not going to be anything. It's not going to be anything too crazy. It's just an extra 5, but that still helps. Anything speed based is still going to help. Does that mean that the Japanese players that like to do I mean, they haven't done really that Veligil Bastet cleave thing in a while. They're still cleaving with Bastet, I'm sure, but they changed things around. But yeah, that's definitely better. I'm curious to see this Fire Desert Queen. I really am. I think there's gonna be some interesting, some nice interesting things, man. This is probably one of the best balance patches we've got in a while. Skydancer leader skills, attack speed of ally monsters in guild content, 28%. 28% attack speed lead in guild content is huge. It's absolutely huge. Defensive ally monsters in guild content for the Fire Sky Dancer. I mean, attack would have been better for her, but Wind Sky Dancer HP actually makes sense for Chasun because she is a tanky unit. So that's actually, those work. Those work. Would this really benefit? I'm trying to find some synergies with the Fire Sky Dancer. Epicon Priest leader skill change is now. Oh, wait. Okay. Epicon Priest, Fire Epicon Priest. I thought it was a nerf at first. Increase the defense of ally monsters in the arena by 27. I just looked at the number. I was like, oh, it's 20 now. No. It is a speed lead. Increase the attack speed of ally monsters in the arena by 20%. We have a Chloe speed lead. Malaka's gonna love that. Then we have skill description changed. Is this actually a change to the skill, or I don't know if it doesn't look like a change to the skill. It just looks like a skill description thing. So this is come to us. Okay, come to us. You know what? I'm just gonna give you all the credit. The balance patch notes, things that needed to get patched, got attention. Yeah, I mean, it could be better. It could always be better, but I don't want to poo-poo. They actually focused on things that needed to get buffed. Christina, I know, still no Christina, still no. What else did I? I'm just so excited. I'm excited that like I'm excited the Water Vampire got a buff. Like a lot of these things that actually needed buffs. Maybe I'm asleep. Maybe I'm dreaming. Am I dreaming? Maybe I'm dreaming. Okay, but these are actually like, now Contours is afraid. They're like, we don't want people to leave. don't leave. We'll buff things. Calm down. We'll buff things. So yeah, this is gonna be some actual usable. Like you're gonna actually see some of these units make their way into the meta now. I think maybe not all. I mean, not all of them, but like a few of them. So that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice, man. Yeah, some of these things are definitely going to be useful. Anyway, that's it for this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hope you guys are excited. I'm honestly a little bit excited. I didn't get my hopes up, and I feel like I was over. They over delivered more, so I think we'll just keep doing that. I would not get my hopes up, and then more of these. Come to us, more of these. See, you did good. I'm gonna say you did good. When you do good, I'll say you did good. And I won't say mean things. I won't say mean things. Anyway, that's it for this one. See you guys always in the next one.